We'll be back in the morning when the sun starts to rise. So mama, don't stress your mind. So mama, don't stress your mind.
Chang, a professor from University of the East. We are to interview for our final requirement for leadership and decision making. So, Mr. Dale Chang, our first question is, what does leadership mean to you?
Leadership is the ability to create leaders, to inspire them to make a better Philippines. In the sense of my field, political science, that would be something tantamount to, creating leaders that are not self-interested but rather for the people.
For our second question, describe the key actions and behaviors of the first persons that you've experienced as your best leader.
I consider my best leaders as my colleagues from TOSP or the Outstanding Students of the Philippines, because I have learned a lot from them, and I think the best qualities that I have learned from them is that I should be steadfast in my commitment in, galvanizing the youth and serving and leading for life.
Are leaders made or born?
Personally, I think leaders are made, because leaders usually are those people who are born in privilege. You have to wake them up within the realities of what's happening around them, and I guess when they're already woken up from their privilege, that's when they realize that, hey, I have to live my life for others. So I have to move, I have to utilize my resources to help people.
For follow-up question, what kind of resources do you think?
Of course, resources include social capital as well as their, finances, because it's hard to mobilize without finances. That's the harsh reality of leadership.
So, what is a role model?
A role model is someone who is a catalyst of change and someone who, helps people become a better version of themselves, and not as someone na, gusto kong maging katulad niya, because I believe that every person is the best version of themselves and the worst copy of someone else.
So, what can leaders do to help others in the organization see in the future?
How can leaders help for other people to succeed? It varies actually, pero one of the best thing I can recall would be to help that person realize the potential he or she has, because someone has to believe sa isang tao because when someone believes in you, that would serve as your energizer para, to become better, na hindi mo ma-fail yung tao. Yung pressure ba na mag-succeed, somehow positive, somehow negative. Pero pagka yung leader na tinitignan mo is someone beneficial, tutulungan ka niya na, it's okay to commit mistakes. What matters most is how many times you get up and dust yourself and continue.
So you're particularly saying that the leader itself should become a role model and they should motivate the followers and
Yes, someone na dapat hindi siya yung nagda-down sa tao niya, but rather someone who lifts up other people.
Next question. What are some of the actions you take to create a climate for change and encourage risk-taking?
Siguro yung ginawa ko na yung nag-promote ng risk-taking sa siguro yung pagtuturo ko. Kasi, I did not graduate na edu course. I graduated with a political science degree, and currently I'm taking my master's in development policy. Pero What brought me to teaching is my passion to inspire people na, hey, you should not be lax, or I mean, huwag ka dyan sa comfort zone mo, step up. Kung kaya mo pa. Nandito lang ako, I mean, kung mag-fail ka, I'll be there to motivate you na okay lang mag-fail, pero kailangan may natutunan ka. And I believe yun naman yung naging culture na na-espouse ko sa mga students ko. And ayun, I'd like to believe na na-develop naman sila doon.
Should leaders let their constituents fail?
Yeah. Because it is when we fail that we learn the most. And there are lessons na matututunan mo lang kapag nag-fail ka. I mean, minsan hindi rin okay na palagi ka lang successful. Kailangan matutunan mo rin bumagsak para matutunan mo bumangon ulit. I mean, hindi ka naman matututong maging resilient if you haven't experienced failure. And one of the traits na maganda sa isang leader is the ability to be resilient in terms of challenges. Kasi marami kang i-face na problems kapag ka isa kang leader.
What can your recommendation be if a specific person, he's already down na po siya because he's continuously failing?
Sasabihan ko lang siya na, I mean, that's a part of life. I'll be there na makikinig ako sa kanya, i-guide ko siya. And sasabihan ko siya ng mga possible options. Pero hindi ako yung magdidikta na, ito yung gawin mo, hindi. Ako yung, ito yung options, ito yung mga magiging repercussions. You choose what's best for you. Ganon. You let them choose.
How can leaders create a climate of trust and facilitate relationships in a team?
Siguro importante yung mag-build ka muna ng personal relationship with your constituents, because prior asking for the hand, you must touch the heart first. Yan yung lagi kong sinasabi sa mga leadership talks ko, na you cannot ask someone to do what you want and have a pure heart if they themselves do not understand why you're doing that. Siguro, yung pinaka-okay na gawin is kailangan maunawaan muna natin yung mga tao. Kailangan connect tayo sa tao. Then once we connect to people, that's when we cultivate relationships, and that's where we strengthen the foundations of leadership sa isang organization.
What are 3 things that can be done to improve in each leadership practice?
Leadership in what sense? Paano leadership ba?
In general, if ever you're a leader in a family.
Siguro first would be, kailangan marunong kang makinig. Be someone who lends their ears not to respond but rather to understand, because understanding the context and struggles of a person is very much needed in the aspect of leadership. That's one. Second is that be ready to be inconvenienced. I mean, maging ready ka na abalahin ka ng mga tao seeking for your help, kasi leadership is not something na nasa taas agad eh. It is something na gradual rise yan eh, na mag-stumble yung mga tinutulungan mo, pero eventually magiging okay din sila in the future. Then last would be yung kailangan yung isang tao marunong siyang mag-balance, kasi pag hindi siya marunong mag-balance, eventually mabu-burn out siya eh. And as leaders, kailangan meron tayong sanctuary, or meron tayong group or support of friends, support system na parang, hey, ito yung nangyayari sa akin, anong kailangan mong gawin. Kailangan meron kang backup na willing silang makinig sa'yo na ganito yung nangyayari. Tapos sila, makikinig lang sila, tapos kikwentuhan lang kayo ganyan, mga kaibigan, supporting each other.
So, you're stating that dapat you should build relationships first, then through that relationship, you're going to make improvements sa followers.
Yes, yes. Kasi you cannot lead without a relationship to the person eh.
Tell me about the time that you struggled with work-life balance.
Siguro, siguro one of the most taxing leadership commitment and balancing act that I've done would be nung naging Secretary General ako ng Association of Political Science Organizations of the Philippines. Kasi imagine, in the Philippines, yung mga pol-sci orgs under sa akin. Tapos, we have to organize programs na minsan it took a toll sa mental health ko na natitrigger ako minsan. Pero, eventually kasi, yun nga, sabi ko nga, kaya important din yung mag-build ka ng relationship sa mga co-workers mo and colleagues mo kasi at the end of the day, sa work, kayo-kayo pa rin yung magkakasama, kayo-kayo pa rin yung magkakaintindihan. Parang kailangan na uunawaan ng bawat isa yung situation niyo para makapag-work kayo together na, hey, pwede bang tulungan mo naman ako dito kasi may problem ako. I mean, it should never be seen na yung pag-ask ng help is a sign of weakness, but rather, it should be seen as a sign of strength. The strength na humingi ng tulong kasi hindi mo na kaya. Kasi pag trinay mo pa siyang i-mask, mas mahihirapan mo. Yun siguro yung pinaka struggle ko dati.
But sir, do you think there is a limit in asking help to a leader or...
Well, there is a limit to everything naman eh. Pero siguro, yun, kung dapat alam mo kung hanggang saan yung pwede mong hingin na tulong dun sa tao. Pero at the end of the day naman, yung mga leaders na yan, humihingi din sila ng tulong. I mean, it's a domino effect din na parang ang problem lang, ang situation lang is na domino, they fall together backwards. Ang mangyayari sa leadership is that you move forward together.
How do you monitor the performance of an individual team member?
Performance of the individual team. Diyan papasok yung feedbacking at saka yung post-event events. Parang, doon kayo magkakamustahan, parang kung ano yung nangyari sa event natin. Tapos tatanungin mo isa-isa yung mga, parang ganito yung naging problema ko. Tapos, doon ma-open yung mga performance ng isa't isa. So, important siguro yung post-event evaluations. Then, doon malalaman nyo kasi kung saan tayo nagkulang, ganyan. Sino yung may pagkukulang. Tapos, yung may pagkukulang, hindi dapat siya biniblame. Dapat tutulungan mo siya na, ganito yung kailangan natin gawin next time. We take this as a learning experience.
How would you describe your leadership style?
Siguro yung leadership style ko, very nurturing. Kasi parang ako yung tao na I'll take you under my wing, then I'll develop you into something na kung ano yung gusto mong patunguhan. Yun. Ganun yung leadership style.
So this is our interview with Mr. Dale, and thank you so much. Thank you po.
We'll be back in the morning when the sun starts to rise. So mama, don't stress your mind.